Ratio podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Good.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the cocktail of the week this week? I made it for you sitting over
It's
there.
pretty good. It's interesting. It's
It's-
different than, like, the margaritas that I've been drinking recently.
It's called the Expat Killer.
Oh, no. Had I known that, I would have been a little bit more careful, perhaps.
I mean, you are an expat.
I don't want to be killed.
It's an expat killer.
It doesn't kill expats. It's an expat who's a killer?
Oh, I thought it killed expats.
Well, then I don't want to die.
You seem fine. It's pretty tasty. It has malt whiskey, lime juice, simple syrup, Angostura bitters, chocolate bitters.
Malt whiskey.
Whiskey.
Just whiskey.
Whiskey. There's like single malt whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Like
okay.
yeah.
All right.
I used a single malt whiskey.
Whoa. Nice. It's good. I mean, it's a whiskey drink. I can only think of that Chumbawamba song.
All right. Moving on to Administrative Corner. This week, so a couple weeks ago, we talked about how 5,000 people tagged me in that social media post with the Blauhai at the Japan IKEA. And the same person, the mouse this week tweeted a picture of the Blauhai-shaped buns that they have for sale in, I think, China at the IKEA. They're filled with sweet potatoes, but they look like Blauhais. They're called Blauhai buns. Roughly 5,000 people tagged me in this post as well.
They look pretty good. Actually, they look like little shoes, so maybe not.
They look kind of disturbing.
Yeah. That's edible?
Yeah, it's like a bun, like a steamed
It's
bun.
real shiny
Yeah.
for a bun.
Well, I don't eat a lot of buns.
Well, look, I love Administrative Corner, and I love learning new things about the internet, because I missed that one completely.
Keep tagging me in the Blauhai content you find, even if you know you will be one of 5,000 people who tag me in it.
Yeah, and maybe Jen will share it with me one of these days, and then I will also...
Literally just shared it with you right now.
Oh, thanks. It was good. It sounds like our IKEAs are more boring than the Japanese IKEAs, I gotta say.
I think that one's in China. Just not that I can read the
China.
writing, but it looked more Chinese, and my Chinese Google app translator translated it.
Sounds like we have a more boring set of IKEAs. I mean, we have Blauhai, which is pretty good, but maybe that's maxed out. They have, Blauhais in suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Business casual.
You can use the Google Translate app and turn on the camera and then just hold it up to writing in another language, and then it changes the picture to show you the writing in English.
Wow.
I used this a lot when I was... you can't talk with the mic at your knee.
Wow.
I used it a lot when I was in Korea because I can't even pronounce Korean writing. So you just hold the camera up and it shows the translation. It figures out what the background color is, covers over it, puts English on top. It's very useful.
Man.
So I used my phone and I put it on the picture of these Blauhais, of the sign for the Blauhai buns, and I put it on Chinese, and it translated it to shark-shaped bun.
That is science fiction stuff. That is...
It's really amazing.
When I grow up, that would have been, that's like what happens in Star Trek or something. They're like speak into a box and it translates as alien languages. It's
It does.
amazing.
I mean, it'll do that too. Like you can just talk and have a live conversation with it.
That
and
is
it'll
a
translate.
pretty amazing feature
I'm
of
gonna show
all
it to you
this
working.
stuff.
Ready? I got the picture there.
Wow.
Yep.
It was all the Chinese symbols and then it turned into shark-shaped bun.
Yep.
Wow.
There you go. It was super useful. It will do,
Unbelievable.
any language. So you can go to Finland and it'll translate the Finnish to
Yeah.
whatever you want.
It's just particularly dramatic here where it's, these symbols
Yeah.
that look so different from our alphabet.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Wow. I'm amazed on many levels.
Yep. All right. Item 2 under Administrative Corner. My book about dogs that I've been writing for 2 years.
I'm aware.
It is complete.
Amazing.
We sent it to the publisher on last Friday, which is great. It's still not going to be out for a while. Excuse me.
That is amazing. Liquid celebrations have been had.
Also, Jen Coleslaw, board member of the Golden Ratio Foundation, sent me flowers.
Anonymously.
Well, they were signed from the chickens and
Almost
the
got me in
fish.
trouble.
I was like, "Did you send these, Ingo?" And Ingo's like, "No, I didn't." And I was like, "Are you sure you didn't send these?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "But why didn't you send the flowers, Ingo?"
it's a no-win situation. I can't lie. I'm not going to say I did and didn't.
Yeah.
But
Jen
then
Colson might have let
it
you
does
get
raise the question of why didn't you? So it's not good. This is not. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's a trap.
Anyway, that was a big celebration. Many thanks to all of the Golden Ratio Friends of the Squad who submitted their stories. We had about 5,000 stories submitted by followers about amazing connections and things that their dogs have done in their lives. I think we used about 100 of them. If I used your story, I have sent you an email. And almost everybody responded to me. I think there were like 3 outstanding emails. If you didn't respond, we gave you a pseudonym. But it made the book so much easier to write because we had all of this like awesome content and anecdotes and love letters to people's dogs from all of you guys. So thank you.
You helped Jen, which
You
is
did.
awesome.
The book will probably be out next summer or fall. It's in the machine of Simon and Schuster now. So
2023.
2023.
Simon and Schuster is a machine.
Yeah, it sure is. The last item on Administrative Corner is very exciting. We have been working on a Hopper plushie for several months. And the Hopper plushie goes on sale tomorrow, Thursday, August 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm going to tweet links. We have a prototype Hopper plushie here in the house.
Unchewed so far, which is a struggle.
It's right now in my closet to protect it. But Hopper has approved it. Ingo and I have approved it. Big thank yous to the Patreons and super followers. They've been seeing like all of the designs. Like, you know, first it was just like a computer drawing.
Generic.
I mean, sort of generic, but I just mean they've seen all of the prototype drawings, and then at the factory they were making prototypes that needed a lot of refinement, the color and the ear length and all sorts of stuff. And I've been sharing those throughout the whole process with the Patreons and super followers who've given really useful feedback.
You're helping Jen.
Yep. I'm not verklempt. I've just got a weird feeling throat. So look tomorrow on all the socials. I will be tweeting out the link for the Hopper plushies. The way that it works with Makeship, who's the company who's making them, like they handle everything. They did all the design and the prototyping. We haven't paid anything. We like if we sell a bunch of them, we get a %, but this is not a thing for us to make money on. Like, I guess if we sold 1 million of them, we'd make a bunch of money.
Ooh, I have to reconsider my orders.
Yes. I don't think for like the
can
first...
I cancel my orders?
You haven't been able to put one yet, so you can keep your stupid joke to yourself. I'm trying to inform the followers, the listeners,
All right, go ahead.
about the process. Yeah, I don't think we make any profits for the first 400. So who knows if we'll even sell 400. So you're kind of like, we worked with them to design it because people ask me for plushies all the time. And they're like, we can do that. So they'll go on sale tomorrow. I think you can order for like 3 weeks. There's a window for ordering. And then the window closes, and then they manufacture, the number that they need to fulfill the order. And I think they're going to ship out the first week of December. Excuse me. The first week of December. They'll ship worldwide. So you don't have to be in the U.S. They'll ship anywhere. And it's usually like a week to 10 days for delivery. So they should be there in time for Christmas.
Wow.
Yep. So put them on your Christmas list, but you got to tell people they need to order in the next 3 weeks to get it for Christmas. So there you go. That is the extended administrative corner this week. Dog updates, once again, are mercifully short this week. Everybody's doing okay. Nacho has spent his first night, mostly, sleeping outside of his house.
And I thought it was a pretty quiet night, but I may not have woken up.
Yeah, he got a little bit restless in the middle of the night and then went back in his house, but overall he did a pretty good job.
He's a pretty good bed sleeper, except he has another body on the bed.
I think it's nice, though. He's a good, cuddly boy.
He is. And he doesn't go crazy in the middle of the night, and he doesn't eat anything, which is a big deal.
Yeah, and I think I was sort of worried that he'd be stepping on other dogs or disrupting them, and he really doesn't. He's quite peaceful.
Yeah, and when he's chomping Remy, they sometimes roll onto another dog, and especially Hops. That's not good. But there was none of that overnight.
No, they were all pretty calm.
Good job, Nacho.
But that's kind of it. I mean, do you have any other dog updates that you want to fill in? We just, like, there's not much actually going on with them, which is nice.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's usually, if it's news, it's bad news. We don't have any bad news about any of them.
Excellent. I have one item under ramblings. Naked Florida man hurls urn full of ashes during argument. This is in Sebastian, Florida.
That's a good one.
After throwing an urn containing a family member's ashes at someone, a naked man from Sebastian was arrested early Saturday morning. According to the Sebastian Police Department, Scott got into a heated argument with the victim, which escalated when Scott threw a glass-style urn at their head. As officers arrived on the scene, they found the victim at a neighbor's house. Their face had multiple swollen, bloody masses bursting open. Wow, who wrote this? Skylar Shepard. That's very descriptive, Skylar.
Terry Schmidt.
Well, this isn't in the Keys, though. This is up in Sebastian.
Fair enough.
The victim was transported to the Sebastian Hospital, where it was later discovered they had a fractured nasal cavity.
Ooh.
Officers began to surround Scott's home. The victim warned the police that Scott owned multiple firearms. Police said they attempted to call him multiple times on the phone and by knocking on the windows, but there was no response. The Sebastian Police Department said after an hour, Scott left his house completely nude and was taken into custody by police. He was charged with aggravated battery and presumably taken to jail.
So he was like hiding in the house naked while they were knocking on the door?
I'm guessing he was probably under the influence of some type of substance.
Yeah. Yeah. He did what is there anything in there that says there were ashes in the urn? Or am I...
The headline says that.
Yeah.
Urn full of ashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glass, urn style glass or whatever it is, but it had ashes in
Urn
it.
full of ashes.
Yeesh.
After throwing an urn containing a family member's ashes at someone. That is the first line.
Man.
So.
Yikes.
Yep. So that's ramblings. Taste of the Keys this week. I don't have like a particular story to read, except this like 8-year-old kid got chomped by a shark, like a bull shark,
Like yesterday, I think.
out
yeah.
on Lou Key. They had to amputate part of his leg.
Yeah. Blue Keys, where that's the big reef here in the lower Keys, or the very lower Keys, where people go because it's a little reef and you can go look at fish and things. And it's been, I would consider it a safe location just because it's well frequented and stuff.
Yeah, it's not little though. It's like one of the biggest fancy reefs. I don't know what they're called when they're fancy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the biggest coral reef in the Western Hemisphere or something. I may be exaggerating a little bit. It's a coral reef. I'm trying to find stuff. The Wikipedia page really sucks. It's just like, in 1994, a research vessel from the University of Miami ran aground and damaged a bunch of coral, and they paid a bunch of dollars to settle it. Like that is the entirety of the thing.
That's the Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's a real suck. Somebody please improve the Wikipedia page for...
Key.
all right. The Lou Key Sanctuary Preservation Area. It tells me where it is. There's superlatives about it. It's like the best.
The best. Maybe it says the best. That's true. Yes, the best.
I don't know. Now nobody wants to say it.
Anyways.
wait. Just let me read you the name of this webpage. I'm like trying to find the thing. It says Snorkeling Lou Key Reef. It's deep, but has big fish. That's the title of the webpage.
Is that the Yelp review? 3 stars.
This is tropicalsnorkeling.com.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, anyway.
It's not that deep.
It has big fish, including apparently a bull shark that chomped this poor kid's leg off.
8-year-old kid. That's just terrible.
Yeah. They I saw a post on Nextdoor today about it, and someone's like, if you're going out there, apparently he had a GoPro, or one of his family members had a GoPro that they lost, like trying to get the kid out of the water, I think. So they're like, if you find the GoPro, they want it because it maybe has footage of the shark on it. So
yikes.
I don't know that I'd want to see actually 100% if my leg got bitten off by a shark, I'd be like, find my damn GoPro. I want the footage of it.
Yeah, I want 3 angles.
When I had my incident with the sea urchin that I kicked our first time here in the Keys, which sent me to the ER, and my foot was full of spikes, and I limped for 6 months, and it's also where I got whooping cough, and my entire life fell apart.
Ugh.
Precipitated by this. I found on our underwater camera a picture of said sea urchin.
Yeah, and it was next to a lionfish. Was that what are they called? Scorpionfish?
No, lionfish.
Lionfish.
Yep. Didn't kick the lionfish. Kicked that damn sea urchin,
I
though.
remember looking down and thinking, I hope she doesn't kick the lionfish because she might die. And then you kick the sea urchin, and you almost, that year you almost died.
I know, it was real bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lukey, it's beautiful. Go snorkel there, but apparently watch out for bull sharks.
No kidding, or the bull shark. This is bad because in all our shark movies, they always talk, it's half the time it's a bull shark because they go into freshwater.
It's the excuse where if you can only afford to film on a lake, they're like, well, it's a bull shark, they can live in fresh water.
Either that or it's a megalodon, but usually it's bull shark.
Yeah. When I did the DC triathlon, I think a now defunct triathlon was one of my first ones that I did, and you swim in the Potomac. And at the time I was doing the triathlon, there was a bull shark in the Potomac. Like, it did swim its way up there. I didn't see it. I was kind of hoping I would see it. Didn't want to get chomped, but
no kidding.
I was doing a triathlon swim and I saw a bull shark.
I mean, when there's bull sharks in water that people row and kayak and canoe on, it makes it very interesting.
Yeah. Added excitement.
No. Yikes.
All right, so that's it. German word of the week and Ingo Corner remain on our agenda.
Yeah, German word of the week it's a little pedestrian, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because there have been maybe one request on Twitter. Kippfenster, which means
something window.
Yeah, tilt window.
Oh, the stupid windows you guys have in Europe. Man, are those things stupid.
It may just be a German thing. I don't know how prevalent this is, but since Germany, was all the windows were kind of built at the same time, they probably are all very similar, right?
Yeah.
After the war. But I'd say all German windows have, they have, like a
handle
that rotates. Let's pretend it's clockwise. So they go 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So if you have a lot of power, you rotate it all the way to 6 o'clock and pull on it, it doesn't open. The top of the window will fall out at you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it feels like. And then it will stop kind of jarringly at about a 15-degree angle.
Yeah.
So that you can let air in, but people can't climb in.
Oh, that's why.
It's for security.
Oh.
And also, you don't have to move the plants off the windowsill and things like that, your flower boxes and things like that. So you can get air without having the window open.
All right, but hear me out. From the plant perspective, you could just have a double hung window, as we Americans.
No one has that in Europe.
Yeah, you could though.
They open like doors.
But I'm saying you could. Or it could swing out.
I bet it's not efficient.
That is the German answer.
So what you have to do there is not go to 6 o'clock on the handle. You go to 3 o'clock, and then you can open it like a door.
Oh, that's interesting.
But the natural thing is to move the handle as far as it'll go and open. Mm-hmm. And the really interesting thing is this is fine for windows, although some of these windows are big. But porch doors work the same way.
If I want to go like outside.
Yeah, and you open the porch door, it may just slant at you.
That's troubling.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a little sense, but it's very an odd, quirky thing, really. And they don't have hung windows. I can't remember anyone ever seeing that in Germany.
It seems like somebody overthought it a little bit.
Well, probably. They were just like, oh, it's like a door, right? With glass in it. We'll just make it like a door, except then we don't want to just have it open so people can walk in and climb in.
Except you literally can have it just open.
You also can, yes.
So.
But then someone will climb in. So if you be safe, you just kip it.
Okay, but why, if you're so concerned about safety, why allow it to open all the way at all like a door?
Whatever?
Yeah.
You let in more air, the most air.
But
when you're home, you can open it and it's safe. But if you're not home, you can tilt it and then people can't climb in.
Okay. I'm not going to
You don't
identify.
understand this at all. Because it's also very important to get fresh air in German houses.
Yeah.
Most of them don't have air conditioning, and you know it's more important to keep the air flowing.
When Ingo's parents came to visit before we moved here to the Keys, and we had our separate houses up around D.C., they'd come to his house in Virginia, and Ingo's house did not have central air conditioning. You just had window air conditioning units. And it gets quite warm in D.C. in the summer. Not as hot as here, but quite warm.
80s, high 80s easily.
Oh, 90s.
Yeah.
Into the hundreds often.
Yep.
Humid.
Yep.
When I was buying my house, absolutely refused to consider any houses that didn't have central air conditioning, because I'm like, I'll just have to buy a whole bunch of window air conditioners, which I hate. Like, that's dumb.
And I did. And they are kind of dumb, but they worked.
Yeah, you didn't like them. You had a lot of anxiety around those window air conditioners.
Well, they were loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, your guest room had a window air conditioner, and your parents would absolutely would not use it.
Nope.
I think they thought they were going to get sick because of the draft, which is a thing that makes me real angry when people talk about getting sick because there's a draft.
Air conditioners make you sick. That's a common European thing.
So
Incorrect European thing. But they would just open the windows, and then it would end up being 80 degrees inside, and they're like, can we have a fan? When we sleep, we like to have the windows open. I'm like, it's 85 degrees and humid as anything. They're
Yep.
like, well, we need that fresh air.
as long as it makes them happy.
First thing they did was open the bathroom window, put a 2x4 in it so it wouldn't slide down, and just leave that in there for however long they were there. They were like, we can't have this window ever closing. And I was like, friggin' so warm. Anyway, Germans, Kippfenster.
Kippfenster.
There you go, Kippfenster.
Okay. You have any items for Ingo Corner?
I mean, that was overlapping into Ingo Corner. No, nothing.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, look for Plushy Hopper tweets tomorrow, social media posts, if you want a Hopper plushie. And until next time, Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Don't bite anyone unless they ask you to. Try not to bite anyone anyway.
Bye.
Bye.